Chair recognizes the senator from Iowa.
I rise to support the budget resolution that's before the United States Senate. Speaking to that, I want to remind people of some history. These famous words came from Rahm Emanuel, President Obama's chief of staff. It dates from about 2008. He famously said, quote, "You never want a serious crisis to go away," end of quote. There's no statement that better encapsulates the mindset of the previous administration. We all know Americans are struggling to cope with economic and social disruption, still carrying on from the pandemic. The Biden administration saw a real opportunity, an opportunity to permanently increase the size and scope of government. They said that they wanted to transform America. I hope everybody on my side of the aisle wants to preserve America. In my view, it makes sense in times of national emergency for government to take steps to help individuals, families, and small businesses weather that storm. But once the crisis subsides, so should the programs and spending enacted in response. Yet, here we are in 2025. Federal spending as a share of the economy remains at levels never seen outside of war or national emergency like recessions or depressions. In 2019, before the pandemic, the total federal spending totaled $450 billion. In 2024, the federal government spent over $2 trillion more. So that's a total of $6.75 trillion, a relative increase of over 50%. We must begin to put spending back on a path of normalcy, and that's why we're having this debate that we call the budget resolution. The path to normalcy is a spending path that accounts for the historic inflation of the past 4 years, as well as population growth. Now, there's a lot of people in this body that would say that spending that much is still too much, but I think it fits in with the principle of the 1974 budget resolution. Once inflation and population growth are factored in, federal spending in 2024 remained roughly $1 trillion above pre-pandemic levels. And if Social Security and Medicare and interest on the debt are set to the side, federal spending was still over $500 billion above 2019 levels. And I hope you'll study the chart here that shows what I just told you. Unless we have a course correction, our national debt will set a new record as a share of our economy in 2028. That is eclipsing the previous high water set in the wake of the World War II. And you can see that here in the period of time where it was at World War II. As another Democrat said, elections have consequences. So, as a part of the November mandate, President Trump is looking for ways to reduce wasteful government spending. And through this budget resolution before the Senate now, we plan to help in that process. But in fact, that power should rest with here. The president shouldn't have to do it. But it's Congress that has the power of the purse, and we'll have to do the heavy lifting. Getting out of the fiscal hole that we've dug for ourselves requires that we first stop digging. The budget that we're debating this week takes that first step, and some people would say too small of a first step. Any new spending will have to be accomplished by reductions in spending elsewhere. I look forward to continuing to work with my colleagues on a return to fiscal sanity, and that fiscal